From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update. Your weekend weather update is made possible by Caltrans District 2.
Hey folks, good afternoon. Hope you've had a nice day so far. Starting out with a satellite view from 22,300 miles up. We've got a nice high deck of clouds out there, which we can kind of see through. You can kind of see down to the ground with it. But we also have the stream of moisture in the southern portion of the area, Humboldt County, especially with some showers still along the coast. Not necessarily making it too far inland. The Trinity Alps are a hard thing to get through, but I think Del Norte County and Humboldt County still seeing some showers. Speaking of Del Norte and Humboldt County, I'll step off here real quick. We do have a beach hazard statement. This goes until this evening at 8 due to the fact that there's a moderate risk of some sneaker waves out there. So I do want to kind of highlight that. Otherwise, we have no advisories or anything like that going on in any meaningful way across the area. But still, yeah, just wanted to highlight that through the rest of today. Go ahead, if there's particularly a cove or anything like that, you know the deal. Stay away from it. Those sneaker waves can really get you there along the coast, and we have that moderate risk of those for today. So, maybe put that off to tomorrow. We got better conditions to look forward to anyways. A little less shower activity, right? Now, we're going to be in the mid to upper 60s here in the valley. On average, I'll call it 65, 66, 67, somewhere in that vicinity. Rest of us in the Trinity County region will be in the mid to upper 50s. Humboldt County also mid to upper 50s as well. Western Siskiyou County, you got the better shot at lower 50s, but I-5 and east, you see those upper 40s. Modoc County, upper 40s, near 50 as well. Out towards the eastern mountains, Susanville out to Doyle, you'll probably be in the mid to upper 50s as well, with some of that moisture in the mid-level still creeping in. And I can't rule out a sprinkle making it past the Trinity Alps, so don't necessarily rule it out 100%, but a lot of that's relegated off to the coast. But what little stuff there is left over really dissipates pretty quickly, and we're paving the way for some very, very nice conditions over the next few days, especially as we head through tomorrow. Tomorrow is the beginning of that warming trend and drying trend temporarily here. The rain layer is whipping a little bit, so before midday or so, we'll probably see some of that fog creeping on up 101 here to Humboldt County. But nevertheless, through Sunday, through Monday, great conditions. 2 thumbs up from me, to be quite honest with you. We're going to see that warming trend sky high, all right? We're going to go from the 70s to the 80s in the warm spots across the area. Just fantastic out there. Tuesday looks good too, although we do see some clouds filtering in. Wednesday is whenever we start to see that push of moisture into the eastern portions of the area, or well, I say western, actually, I mean to say western. They're Del Norte County and Humboldt County, western portions, Siskiyou County. Rather, the eastern portions don't quite see so much of that precipitation because, like I said this morning, with what's going on already, the Trinity Alps are kind of a hard barrier to get through, especially with these kind of weaker systems. And this system is just not that robust, right? We're not seeing a huge atmospheric river pummeling 10 inches of rain and a foot of snow, 5 feet of, nothing like that, right? We're not seeing that quite so robust of a system here. By Friday, we're already starting to see it kind of break up a little bit. So Wednesday and Thursday are the key days to watch for precipitation. So here is today through Friday. So this kind of combines those 3 days just to go ahead and be safe. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, even if we do get some of those stray showers for the end of the week. And here's what the rain totals look like. Honestly, not that impressive. Now, I will say this much, as far as the usual suspects are concerned, Del Norte County, Humboldt County, Western Siskiyou County, might pick up 2 to 3 inches out here. I would say, especially closer to the western portions of, eastern portions of Del Norte County, western portions of Siskiyou County, but Humboldt County, on average about an inch, inch and a half out there. Shasta County, you might even pick up an inch or so in some of those spots south of Mount Shasta itself, north of Lakehead up there off east of I-5, but a lot of us just aren't seeing that much rain. Let's take a look at the valley down there, for example. You're talking tenths of an inch, hundredths of an inch, maybe up to a quarter of an inch, but just not that impressive. That's to make no mention of central Siskiyou County and out towards the eastern mountains, Modoc County, Lassen County, of the like, right? We're just not seeing very much in the way of totals at all. Out towards the 395 corridor, as far east towards Doyle, you're probably not going to see much at all out there. I know I'm kind of calling out those smaller communities, but you're just not going to see too much out there. So that moisture, definitely not robust enough to really saturate everyone, but we will see some of those rain showers on Wednesday and on Thursday. So that's the kind of key time frame to watch. And we'll probably still have some of those stray ones on Friday as well, but I don't think it'll be quite as widespread. It's the next few days that look really pretty nice for those outdoor conditions. Temperatures getting back up to the 70s and even 80s across the area for some of us in the warm spots out there. So spring is definitely back in a big, big way across the area. Mount Shasta City, Alturas and Modoc County, and out towards the eastern mountains. Well, of course, we have that cloud cover today, and some of those showers are making it as far east as the I-5 corridor almost, but we're just not seeing it make much further east than that. In the next few days, just look fantastic out there. Upper 60s turning into 70s. There is that chance on Wednesday. We have some of that, especially in the second half of the day. But I think Thursday is the day to watch there for that more kind of scattered on and off stuff throughout the day. Snow levels, we'll call it about 4,000 to 4,500 feet. Really, if you want to expand your net, 4,000 to 5,000 feet as far as those temperature trends are concerned. So as we see the freezing layer rise and drop, I'd say 4,000 to 5,000 feet is kind of the average on the whole. You know, stray chance Friday still, but notice you really start to see it breaking up there towards the end of the week. Just off and on isolated type stuff is the deal. Redding, Red Bluff, Chico, next few days, fantastic. Look at those 80s coming back in. There is that chance Wednesday, especially the second half of the day. It's the second half of the day that we see that elevated chance, mainly because Thursday is kind of the brunt of the showers, but I don't think it's a particularly high chance. Also, you know, since I'm talking about chances here, I do want to mention with that chance late Wednesday, you know, we could maybe catch a rumble of thunder or two. I'm not saying it's going to be widespread or anything like that, but we do have that pool of instability here kind of channeling up. So I can't totally rule that out. I did want to mention that just kind of as a passing thought. So that is something to think about. That is something to consider, but it's not a particularly high threat, at least as far as some of these systems we've seen before are concerned. In the meantime, we have the next 3-4 days to look forward to of just fantastic weather out there. Really nice way to start our work week. And of course, I'll be back with you at 6 this evening for more Fresh from the Weather NorCal Command Center.